Hello everybody, and welcome back to Will You Press the Button? I know I'm eventually going to get back to Strategic Command, and I apologize for not posting videos as often as I used to. The last couple weeks I've unintentionally walked away from YouTube more than I'd like. But anyways, moving on. So, you will become immensely successful in the field of your choosing. Examples, science, philosophy, business, etc. But you will go through life watching everyone around you slowly drift away from you, and your success will be your downfall. And that's my hair sticking up randomly again. Dang it. Anyways, I'm not going to press this button because this is typically what happens when you get, a doctorate degree and you typically get so wound up, caught up in your degree of choice and working the job that it just ends up being 60, 70-hour weeks. And then you just, hard to be around other people. So I could not do that kind of life. 30% of people are willing to take career over family. Interesting. Interesting. Not really. It's actually kind of depressing that there's that many people that are willing to do that. Press the button and be a billionaire and have the power to control people. No, I'm just joking. But the machinations of your mind would be an enigma. So I get all the money in the world. I'll become a billionaire, which pretty much is all the money in the world because there's no way you can spend all that in a lifetime. And I can control people to do what I want, but I don't understand my own mind. I'm just an enigma. I'm just a confusing puzzle to solve. Why would I want to press the button? I'm not controlling people then, because my mind's an enigma. I don't even know what the heck. I'm not going to press that button. Whoa! 61% are willing to have an enigma for a mind. Interesting. Excuse me. These words are too big for me. Guy A. Hey, do you see? Testing. There we go. Being rich and impossible to understand would make it easier to enter. So I get Benedict Cumberbatch to crack the code. Imitation game reference. So yeah, my mind's already an enigma. What the shit? Yeah. So basically, yeah, it's just you wouldn't be able to. I suppose you'd be able to think clearly, but you'd be so. I don't know if that means that your mind would be just a giant puzzle, or you'd be so dang smart you wouldn't be able to communicate with others. If that was the case, I almost would have pushed the button because I don't know. Moving on. You get to see the next set of choices, but it will be ridiculously lopsided and therefore completely uninteresting. Are you saying if I hit the button, I get to see the next question right away, but it would be completely ridiculous and stupid? I'm going to get to see it either way. 52% said, nope, don't care. 48% said, sure, for no absolute reason. Next one. You'll gain the ability to travel back in time, but you'll never be able to return back to the future. Why would I want to do that? Like, don't get me wrong, I think the ability to time travel would be kind of interesting to witness some parts of history. But if I'm not able to return, why would I want to do that? I'm going to be stuck in a time that I may or may not like, and I can only continue to go backwards. So no, I will not hit that button. 45% of you are willing to go back in time but not return to the future. I suppose if you look at this from another perspective, if you're saying I inherit the body of that time and I just restart my life from that time forward, that might not be as bad, because then I could change some things, right? We all could change some things. Everyone has something in their past they don't necessarily like, so that way it might be worth it then. But if it's where I go back in time and there's already another me in that time, I'm just there for shits and giggles now. I go back 12,000 years like a caveman. F this functioning member of society BS. God dang it, man. Broken live without your phone and technology. I'd go back 2 weeks after cataloging a series of stock market trades I would make, which could be millions of dollars. Sign me the F up. I never thought about that. You could actually see who won the lottery, save the numbers, go back a couple of weeks, and boom! But in 2 weeks he'll be back. Well, yeah, but he can't travel back instantaneously. He's got to relive those 2 weeks. So no, this guy's actually wrong. I say something stupid. Travel 2 seconds back in time. Don't say that. Wow. Wow. Take back his shit you didn't mean to say. I can go with that. I'm getting a little too distracted with the comments now. You have all the powers of Superman, but everyone in the world is stronger than you? You're, like, seriously, even babies? That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You can't be stronger than Superman. Superman is the pinnacle of strength. I forget what the epic battles, that's what it's called. On YouTube, they even had epic battles where they pit 2 characters against each other to see who would win. And they had Superman versus just about every powerful anime and or hero character they could find. And yeah, not one of them could beat Superman. If you ever seen Dragon Ball Z, even Goku can't beat Superman. And Goku's pretty damn powerful. So no, I will not hit this button because it's a completely ridiculous question. Moving on, I'm not even going to give them time of day to the people who push the button because they're complete idiots. No offense. Anyways, you have the power to read anyone's mind at will. That's terrifying. But every time you actually do read someone's mind, you uncontrollably... Why? Why is that a thing? No, I will not. I don't want to read people's minds to begin with. Like, people are crazy in person. Like, reading their minds would just make it worse. Wow. Just to have the power to read someone's mind, 59% of people are willing to pee their pants. Unfortunate. Most unfortunate. You can use the Force. But every time you enter a room, Darth Vader's theme plays all the way through. Heck yes. I will push that button. And 78% agree with me. Who wouldn't want to walk into the room to badass Darth Vader music and have the power of the Force? Yeah, I suppose if you enter a library, that would be kind of annoying. Enter the kitchen. Da, 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 da. Where's the downside? There is none. Error 4, no downside found. At Team Awesomeness, it would be annoying, but it would only play once you enter your bedroom. You would be able to sleep. Ah, dang. Ah, dang. Everyone agrees with me. I don't see a problem either. 22% just don't get it. They just don't get it, man. That'd be too freaking awesome. Alright, Hawk, I'm letting you out. Give me a second. Even though you were just out, but... Alright, anyways. You only get to see the best buttons, whatever that means. All the kids who make mad buttons will be sad. I don't get it. Is this like a reference to something? Is this just going? I think this is going over my head. What buttons? Controller buttons? Keyboard buttons? Mouse buttons? What buttons are we talking about? And who's making them? What did they do? I don't get it. I don't give an F. Let's see. Are you talking about the buttons in this game? I don't know what's going on. I'm going to say I will not because I don't know what's going on. Wow. 69% pressed this. They must know what's going on there. I'm moving on. Be Batman with all his strength and wealth, but your parents will be murdered tonight. Tempting. No, I will not. I'm not addicted to my parents. Wow. 29% of the people push this button. They basically just said, sorry parents, you're gonna die. So sorry. Batman's strength and wealth is apparently that appealing to them. Not to me. Anyways. We're gonna move on. Pretend that question never happened. You will get any wish you want from pressing the button, but you won't know if it happens. That's counteractive. If I hit the button, I get any wish I want from pressing this button, then I automatically know what's going to happen. So this negative part is stupid. No, I will know. I will know because I can read the choice. Huh. It's a freaking paradox indeed. It is a paradox because you know you wished for it, so you know it's going to happen, but I don't know that it happened. So it's like a paradox. So no, what's the point of having something I don't know that happened? I suppose if I wish to win the lottery, but then I don't know, I won't know if it happens. But then I'll win the lottery. So fuck it, why not? Screw it. I mean, 82% just agree with me. It's just weird. But hey, I mean, even if I, I guess you can make anyone real and have them fall in love with you, but they will love you to the point they will kill anyone of the opposite sex you talk to and will want to be with you all the time, even in death. Huh. That seems a bit extreme. But anyone of the opposite sex you talk to. I'm not going to press the button because it just said the opposite sex in general. So you talk to your grandma, your mom, your aunt, your sister, if you're a guy. Yeah, they are dead. And the opposite for you girls out there, your brother, your father, your grandfather, they all kick the bucket. So they don't give specifics. They just said all of the opposite sex, or anyone of the opposite sex. Dangerous, my friends, dangerous. Wow, 41% just don't give a shit. They're like, yeah, give me that lovin'. All right. You have the ability to shapeshift into any form, be it someone of the opposite gender, a different species, etc. But you must stay in this form for an entire year. Why? That is the worst shapeshifting ability I have ever seen. For a whole year? Really? That would suck. Because whatever you transform it to, it'd be cool for the first 24 hours, and then you just realize you're boned for the next 364 days. God dang it. Wow. Who would want this? He looks around and sees nobody looking, presses button, transforms into a beautiful girl with a tail. What the heck? What the heck? Well, it would be interesting, I suppose, but then you'd be stuck that way for a year. I feel like a year is just too long for me to. Wow, 67% are willing to wait a whole nother year to transform back to themselves, to transform into something else for another year. I just don't get it. A year is a long time. Do you realize that's 12 months, 52 weeks, 365 days, unless it's a leap year, then it's 366. That's a long time for something to just be stuck in a certain way. Press the button and you will get successful in life. But everything you do with technology will fail. Well, then how am I successful? In this day and age, technology is success in most businesses. You can't have a business, in fact, without technology. The odds of that. I mean, I suppose you could be a book writer. That doesn't really. But then you got to write it by hand instead of typing it up because you'll fail with technology. Ooh, excuse me. Sorry, we're not. I need my technology. 37% are willing to be successful in some magical thing that does not require technology. Let me know how that works out for you. Okay, final question. You can push anyone for as long as you want, as much pain as you want. Wait, what? Oh, you can punish someone, not push. That was me misreading it. You can punish anyone for as long as you want, as much pain as you want. Why would you want that? But you would take the same punishment. Good God. That reminds me of that guy from Naruto, that every time He curses you, and everything he does to himself happens to you as well. Why would you want that ability? Unless you're immortal and you just can't die, like the guy from Naruto. Is that what we're going with? You're just an immortal guy, and you can just torture people as long as you want and kill them, and you'll never die, and all that shit? Is that what this is meant to do? Japanese all the way, apparently. Any punishment grounded, if you're an introvert, it is a win-win. F him. Wow. No, I don't like pain to begin with. I don't want to like giving other people pain, and 30% of you are some crazy mother truckers. So, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you saw, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to check out my eBay store, and as always, I will see you in the next one.